So Amir, Bourouh, first season at Hull FC. How are things going for you?
Yeah, really good. Really enjoying the move so far. Great group of lads, and we've had 2 wins out of 3, so it's been a pretty good start.
You missed the defeat, obviously, but what's the atmosphere like amongst the players so far?
Yeah, it's been really good. Obviously, we've had a defeat there against Wigan, but we've had to move on pretty quick from it and focus on the next game, which is pretty good. So yeah, just one game at a time, keep going.
How good is it to win in the way that you did at Huddersfield?
On the night, not great. It's always tough when you're leaving it like that so late on in the game, but yeah, obviously it shows we've got some grit in his team. We can still pull a win, with a poor performance, which is good to see.
So let's look at yourself at Hull FC. Do you see this as a chance now at this point in your career to really nail down a starting shirt?
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously signed here, not knowing whether that was going to be definite or not, but I've managed to get that, so hopefully I can keep it and just keep building performances, yeah.
When you look for not inspiration, advice maybe from older players, who's been sort of the one that you've turned to so far this season?
A lot of the lads really. I think Raps has obviously played all his career at Canberra, so he's the one which has got massive knowledge. No matter what position, he's kind of got something which he can touch on. Sees as well, obviously half-back. He gives me pointers all the time, so there's still loads of people, even though there's not an older hooker, there's loads of people who are there to give me some advice.
I bet you've had plenty of advice though in your career as far as being a hooker goes with some of the people that may have influenced you though.
Yeah, loads. Sam Paul, when I first started at Wigan, he was really big for me. Really clever player, and then at Salford, Andy Ackers, it was when I first got there, it was his England debut season, so he was just playing unbelievable, so I feel like I learnt a lot from him.
And Paul Rowley?
Yeah, it's well with Paul. Obviously he's played hooker all his career, had a great career, and I think he really showed me quite a lot, and I think he was really interested in developing me there. So
far in your career, you've obviously had time out on loan at quite a few clubs, time in the Championship as well with Halifax. How much do you gain from that kind of experience of bits and pieces here and there?
I think it's hard. Obviously, when you're not playing week in, week out, you need to find a way to be getting better. It's not good just training all the time. I feel like I'm probably a pain to the coaches that I've had in the past, knocking on the door, asking to go on loan if I'm not playing. But I feel like you have to be playing at a young age as well to get any better. Otherwise, I feel like you're a bit stagnant.
Has that always been well received though, the fact that you've been asking to go on loan? Certainly for the right reasons, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes not. But it just depends. The coaches have to put the team first, and whether it's me going or not going, ultimately it's their decision. So I just respect either way.
Now you say you started out at Wigan. How did a lad from Huddersfield or Halifax that you're from? How did a lad from that area end up at Wigan?
There was a scout that used to come and watch our team, called Tommy Bickerton. He just loved watching our team. We're quite a good team, and he picked up 3 of us, and we went over there for 2 years, travelling 3 times a week, and then at 16 moved over. So I just loved it there. I just wanted to stay there really when I was a young kid, and yeah, it was great.
Who were the sort of contemporaries that you were coming through with?
Morgan Smithies, obviously he's in Canberra now, which is really good. The other lad which we were with doesn't play anymore, he's called Oliver, and then Tom Allroyd, who we were just on about, and Riley Dean at Oldham. So there's some good players in there, yeah.
And you had a great start as well as far as your, career in Rugby League started at Siddle, and that's a renowned club for players coming through into the professional game. Yeah,
there's absolutely loads of players. I think there's at least 10 that are playing now, so they've got a good conveyor belt. It's a good area to produce players by the looks of things.
So on to this season with Hull, what are you looking to achieve?
I feel like obviously a lot of the fans are just wanting to see a team that tries, but between us here, we obviously want to go on and achieve something bigger than that. We want to compete in every game. We want to come away with something. I feel like top 6 is something that we've got to be aiming for. I feel like it's something that every team will be aiming for at the start of the season. So, yeah, top 6.
From what you've seen so far, both played against and been part of, do you feel that is achievable?
Yeah, I think it's achievable. I think ultimately teams change week on week, so performances vary, don't they? So I feel like if we just control what we can control in this room, I think we won't be too far off.
What are you expecting from Leigh this week?
Yeah, strong team. You started the season really well. Made some really good signings. Physical. So yeah, it's going to be a big challenge. But I think all the lads will be up for it.
And potentially a challenge for you at hooker if you're up against the likes of Edwin Ipape.
Yeah, he's going good. I like going against the best. So it pushes you on to be better. So looking forward to it.
And finally, we'll ask you this question. We got the answer last week from Harvey Barron scary was the answer he gave. What's it like working with John Cartwright?
Yeah, it's great. He's a good laugh, but serious when he needs to be. I feel like all the lads respect him massively, which I think is really important for a head coach. And yeah, he's been great. So
you're not going down the he can be scary route then, like Harvey did?
I haven't seen it yet. He probably can, but as long as I keep doing okay, I'm sure I'll be all right.
Thank you.
Hi, obviously, start to your whole career, it's been very defensive-led, defensive-orientated. How's it felt for you being in the middle of the park during those 2 wins so far?
Yeah, it has been massively defensive. Obviously, a reflection of how we've played, really. A few errors and stuff in areas where we don't need it, but hopefully we can look after that ball more and then bring in some attacking play as well, rather than just defending.
Does it give you confidence that you've actually managed to keep your line intact, as a team? Because it's something Hull didn't really do last year, but very good defences on Friday, certainly getting Catalans. So does that give you confidence going forward?
Yeah, massively. We've not had in either of them 2 wins. I don't think we've had any good ball attack on the line, full completed sets. So it's really promising that we can still come out with a win with such little ball and little opportunities. So yeah, the defence has been really strong so far. I think there's always areas that we can improve on, but especially when they're attacking our line, I feel like we've been connected and we've kept people out.
What does it say about the whole side, the fact that you are so connected and so together in defence? Does that show how spirited you are and how together you are as a team?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, there's a lot of lads that will be massively disappointed with the season that they had last year, so they'll be wanting to prove themselves, and I feel like everybody who's come in is wanting to prove themselves as well. I don't know, we seem really close. Carty wanted us to be close at the start of pre-season, and I feel like we all are now. I feel like that's a big factor of it. We all want to play for each other and we respect each other, don't want to let us mates down, which is good.
Was it a big focus of the actual pre-season? Last time I spoke to you was in October, starting November, so was it a big focus, on nailing those systems and nailing those patterns, struggling with it?
Yeah, massively. We've done obviously I think about 12 weeks of training, and it was tough, it was intense. So I feel like we were ready for it. We were fit enough and we were strong enough. So yeah, definitely.
In terms of good ball, then obviously the 90 touch it more than anyone else. So I'm guessing you're relishing, getting those opportunities in the weeks and months to come. Touch wood, fingers crossed.
Yeah, obviously we've not shown much of that yet, so looking forward to be able to put a bit on that on show and score some good tries.
How's it been going with Aidan and Cade as the 2 halves? Because no secret, Aidan's leadership, it was there to see last week on it. So what's it been like working with those 2?
Yeah, great. I played with Custy before. I feel like Aidan's leadership, so structured how he wants it to be, kind of frees Custy up a lot, so he can concentrate on his running game, don't have to worry about as much, so I feel like it's a good balance.
Does that make it easy for you as well, knowing when you can run, when you can see opportunities and when obviously Aidan wants the ball? Yeah,
massively. Caesar's just said to me, if I want to run. I know when he needs the ball without always asking for the ball, so massively helps with Johnny as well with that, so really good, really easy.
Obviously to get the win last Friday night, you did play a big part in that. Obviously the pass from dummy half nailed it to Caesar, so he had the time and the space to get the drop goal over, so you must be really happy with that, because late in the game, fatigue, and he still nailed the play, so it's very pleasing.
It's just my job, that. I don't think no one else will give me any applause for that.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, Amir. Just on a personal note, what do you see as your key asset that you could bring to Hull FC?
I feel like defensively I'm strong. I think I've got a lot fitter since I've come to Hull. And I'm not seeing too much of it yet, but I do like to run. Hopefully we can see that soon.
And speaking of Thursday night, you just said about the performance defensively was good. I think from the fans' perspective, I think one of the things we've been lacking over the last couple of years, a bit of composure. Certainly a lot of composure on display on Friday.
Yeah, there was. Like I said before, I feel like we are connected when we need. I mean, not all the time, which obviously that's something we're aiming to be, but we're all working really hard for each other, which is a promising sign, and I feel like that's why we're coming away with the results.
And when you're involved in a close game like that, you've alluded to you don't like it being involved in it, but how do you feel when a game is on a knife edge?
Obviously, it's nerve-wracking and you don't know which way it's going to go. One decision can change the outcome of the game. We'd rather put them to bed earlier, but you know, it's been in the grind. We've got to be more disciplined if that's how we're going to play teams. It will come together at some point, but it's promising we can do it.
You played a key part in the drop goal. I know you don't want to take any credit. I don't think you're going to get any credit from the rest of the players for that. But that must be personal to you. A good touch.
Yeah,
your job.
Yeah, I think I didn't even just hurt his hamstring, and I'd just come straight back on the pitch. So it were a nice first few minutes back on the pitch. Yeah.
Brilliant. All the best on Thursday.
Thank you, Matt.
Obviously, it's a very new squad. You're one of several new arrivals. The fact that you've been on the road quite a while, you know, obviously you've been to Castleford, been to Featherstone before the season, and then Catalan and Huddersfield. How much has that helped this group to gel together?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like it's them long times together in the coach, you know, before games where you do gel, and I think the lads we do a lot together anyway. We go for coffees and days off and breakfast and stuff. So I feel like we do like spending time with each other, which is nice.
And obviously, you know, you had a trip to the beach, didn't you, down when you went down to Catalan? So stuff like that definitely helps then, obviously.
Yeah, massively. I feel like that's playing them for the first game is great. You know, we've got three days there together with each other. If we weren't already gelled, you know, after that you normally are. So yeah, it was good.
And obviously you dealt with a very big pack on Friday nights at Huddersfield, and you're going to deal with another very big one against Leigh on Thursday. How much does that help, you know? Because obviously I thought you dealt with people like Tom Burgess rather well. How much does that help going into Thursday when you're going against another very big pack?
Yeah, I feel like Thursday probably we didn't deal with them early enough. So I feel like start of the game, you know, we're going to have to step it up a bit, really get into them early, and you know, it will be probably a tougher challenge than the Huddersfield game. So I'm sure all the lads are ready for it.
Obviously you've got the ex-Leigh contingents. How much are they being helpful this week? Yeah,
massively. So obviously Johnny pretty much run their attack through the middle last year, so they kept some of the systems the same. So he's been butting in videos and, you know, talking about how we can do certain areas of his defence a little bit different to we did the following week. So yeah, it's been really good.
One last thing, personal thing for you. You've been given the number 9 shirt that belonged to the legend that is Danny Houghton. Have you felt any pressure because of that? Because of you're following on from a club legend like him?
I don't think I've felt pressure with it. I felt a lot of privilege. Obviously, he's had that shirt for the last 12 plus years probably. You know, it's a massive honour. He was a massive part of Hull's success when they've had success, and you know, a big character in the group. So the lads say. So I just want to be able to fill that hole and hopefully do it some justice from what he's done previously.
Would you say Thursday, is there a responsibility with this game? Because obviously you've got a few away games after this, you know, obviously going to Wigan, the likes of Wakey, Castleford, Warrington. Is there a responsibility to go out there and try and really do a job on Leigh on Thursday night, because then you're going on the road for a few weeks after that?
Home or away, you know, I think it's the same motivation. We need to be firing every game we play, so we treat every game the same as we would home or away. So, you know, we just want the 2 points.